Hey everybody, welcome to lesson 12.4, Customary Units of Liquid Volume. Now we're going to go into the vocabulary of what liquid volume is in just a moment, but I just wanted to let you know that I added this table here, which will help us in a little bit. Now, liquid volume is the measure of the space a liquid occupies. So that's really important to know right there, is the space liquid occupies. So that's how much space the liquid takes, how much space it takes up. Some basic units for measuring liquid volume are gallons, half gallons, quarts, pints, and cups. Now pause this video at any time if you need to look a little bit over that or look over the words. Now, the bars below the model are relationships among some of the units of liquid volume. The largest units are gallons. Now, the most popular gallon that we use is a milk container, a gallon of milk. The smallest units are fluid ounces. Now, fluid is the flow. Now, up here we have 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. And the abbreviation for cup is C, and the abbreviation for fluid ounces is FLOZ. 1 pint, PT, is the abbreviation, is equivalent to 2 cups. 1 quart, QT abbreviation, is equivalent to 2 pints. 1 quart, QT, is equivalent to 4 cups. 1 gallon, GAL, abbreviation, is equivalent to 4 quarts. 1 gallon, GAL, equals 8 pints. And 1 gallon is equivalent to 16 cups. Now, as you can see here, here's a visual picture. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint equals 2 cups. And 1 quart equals 4 cups. Now, as we look down here at this table, it looks like a whole bunch of numbers at first, but if you look at it, this whole top part right here represents 1 gallon, and it's the breakdown of how things are. So on the next section, you'll see that there's 1/2 gallon, 1/2 gallon. Again, 1/2 plus 1/2 gives us 1 whole. 1 quart plus 1 quart plus 1 quart plus 1 quart. Together, 4 quarts equals a gallon. And you can see here how it's broken down with how many cups equals a gallon and how many fluid ounces equal 1 gallon. How does the size of a gallon compare to the size of a quart? Draw 2 bars that represent the relationship. 1 bar should show gallons and the other bar should show quarts. As you can see, I included 2 bars. 1 equals 1 gallon, and the other equals 4 quarts. Shade 1 gallon of 1 bar and shade 1 quart on the other bar. Now, what they mean is they mean to shade that here and shade one of these. So 1 gallon and then 1 quart. So compare the size of 1 gallon to the size of 1 quart. So 1 gallon is 4 times as much as 1 quart because there's 4 of them. Go ahead and turn the page to page 660. The example, compare measures. Serena needs to make 3 gallons of lemonade for the lemonade sale. She has a powder mix that makes 350 fluid ounces of lemonade. How can she decide if she has enough powder mix? Remember, we use the cubes method on here. And cube stands for, circle the numbers, underline the question, box all the keywords, gallons, fluid ounces, and that seems to be how, and then you look at the question, how can she decide if she has enough powder mix? Now, E stands for evaluate, and S stands for solve. So you see, take a look at it. It says, Use the model on page 659, and I've included it right here. Find the relationship between gallons and fluid ounces. Now let's go ahead and go over to this table right here, and we're going to find gallons. Here's our 3 that have gallon in them, and right now we're looking for cups. So that would be this one right here. So 1 gallon equals 16 cups. Go ahead and fill that in. Now, I'm going to pause and I'm going to allow you to look at these next 3 using this table. You should have found that 1 cup equals 8 ounces. 1 gallon equals 16 cups. And you would multiply that by 8 fluid ounces. And 1 gallon equals 128 ounces. Now, it says make a table to relate the gallons of fluid ounces. Now, remember, for every 1 gallon, we saw that there's 128 fluid ounces. So again, 2 times 128 would give us 256. Now, I gave you that one, but I want you to go ahead and solve the 3 gallons times 128. Now, we used this method before where it was easier for us to multiply. Now, 3 would go here, 100 would go here, 20 would go here, and 8 would go here, and we multiply. 3 times 100 is 300. 3 times 2 is 6, and then we place this 1 0 behind it. 3 times 8 is 24. And then we go ahead and add these together. And that will give us 384. So then we can fill this into our table. Now we can compare our answers. So on this one, we had 350 fluid ounces. And then right here, we know that 3 gallons has 384 fluid ounces after solving it. And we know that 350 is less than 384. So we can say right here, 350 is less than 3 gallons. So Serena does not have enough mix to make 3 gallons of lemonade. Go ahead and go to the next page. Now remember, you can pause and rewind at any time if you need a little bit more time or if you need clarification on anything. So this one is to share and show. Compare the size of a quart to the size of a pint. Use the model over here to help. Go ahead and try this on your own. And when you push play, I will have the answers for you on number 1. As you can see over here, we looked for 1 quart, and over here, 1 quart and 2 pints. So we had 1 pint here and 1 pint here, and that equals 1 quart. So because there's 2, we can say 1 quart is 2 times as much as 1 pint. Go ahead and solve for number 2, 3, and 4 using this table, and go ahead and pause, try it on your own, and when you push play, you will have the answers. So if we look over at the table, we know that 1 pint equals 2 cups, but we have 2 pints. So that would mean we have 2 pints. So that would mean we have 2 sets of 2 cups, which would be 2 times 2, which would give us 4 cups. In our table, we know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, but we have 3 gallons. So that means we have 3 sets of 4 quarts, which is 3 times 4, which would give us 12 quarts. Again, we refer back to our table. We know that 1 quart equals 4 cups, but we have 6 quarts, which means we have 6 sets of 4 cups. So 6 multiplied by 4 would give us 24 cups. Well done. Check your answers. Go ahead and solve for number 5, 6, 7. You're going to compare 8, and 9 as well for the comparison. Go ahead and pause. So number 5 is 32 pints. Now we know that 1 gallon equals 8 pints. So 4 times 8 equals 32. Number 6 is 40 fluid ounces because we know 1 cup equals 8 ounces, but we have 5 cups. So 5 times 8 equals 40. Now, converting these, 2 gallons gives you 32 cups, so we know that 32 cups equals 32 cups. 4 pints, 1 pint equals 2 cups, so we know that 4 times 2 is 8, so that's 8 cups equivalent is greater than 6 cups. Then we have 5 quarts, but we know 1 quart equals 2 pints, so we have 5 of them, 5 quarts, times 2 equals 10 pints, so we know that 10 pints is less than 11 pints. Number 10. A soccer team has 25 players. The team's thermos holds 4 gallons of water. If the thermos is full, is there enough water for each player to have 2 cups? Explain, make a table to help. Here's the table over here. Go ahead and pause and solve. 25 times 2, because there's 25 players, for 2 cups each would give us 50 cups. We know that 1 gallon equals 16 cups, and we fill that in here according to our table. But we have 4 gallons, so we know that 4 times 16 gives us 64 after using the distributive method here. So if you look at it, they have 64 cups, and they have 50 cups they need to use. So the answer will be yes, there will be enough for each player to drink 2 cups of water. Oops. Now we're going to go ahead and skip page 662 and go to page 663. I want you to go ahead and practice this page here. And if you pause, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the answers when you unpause. Then I will read questions 12, 13, and 14 and give you time to work on that and pause after that to reveal the answers. So go ahead and use your conversion chart to work on numbers 1 through 11. If you need to go back to your previous page to look at the table, please do so, and go ahead and pause this recording right now. There are the answers. I also included the conversions on here so that if you want to look at them to see what your answers were compared to mine. Remember, I always encourage that if you did get it wrong, don't erase, just go ahead and write your answer to the side so that you can solve and figure out why you got wrong so that you can learn from your mistakes. Number 12. A chef makes 1 1/2 gallons of soup in a large pot. How many 1 cup servings can the chef get from this large pot of soup? Kendra's water bottle contains 2 quarts of water. She wants to add drink mix to it, but the directions for the drink mix give the amount of water in fluid ounces. How many fluid ounces are in her bottle? Go ahead and solve. Go ahead and check your answers. Number 14, we will check later. Go ahead and turn to the next page. I will read these story problems, and if you need to pause in between, please do so. Solve them, and then the answers will be revealed. Joshua drinks 8 cups of water a day. The recommended daily amount is given in fluid ounces. How many fluid ounces of water does he drink each day? A cafeteria used 5 gallons of milk in preparing lunch. How many 1 quart containers of milk did the cafeteria use? Roy uses 1/4 cup of batter for each muffin. Make a list to show the amounts of batter he will use depending on the number of muffins he makes. Beth has 7 1/100ths of a dollar. What is the amount of money Beth has? Name the figure that Enrico drew below. A hippopotamus weighs 4 tons. Feeding instructions are given for weights in pounds. How many pounds does the hippopotamus weigh? Here are the answers. Well, thanks for working hard.